Hey everybody, it's just Beast. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Scottyallenday. I am doing something a little bit different today. And it's just kind of a discussion about things that people buy online. A lot of people like to do product reviews. A lot of people, go through a lot of things. Eventually it'll be my time when I decide to do product reviews. But until then, I'm just going to talk a little bit about, a few subjects that it's almost a waste of time. Now, if you follow through this video, you're going to find out why I am talking about survival kits as a waste of time and money. Now, if you purchase a survival kit, I would say about 75% of the people that buy a survival kit would actually go and put it somewhere on a shelf, throw it into the garage, throw it under your bed, throw it in the cat box, wherever they want to be able to throw it, and forget about it. It collects about 10 pounds of dust on it until all of a sudden you do spring cleaning and then you see this big old dust ball and you don't decide to open it anyways and you throw it in trash. Yet again, somebody gives you another one. So, survival kits. A lot of times when you buy a survival kit, most survival kits are not made in the US. Most survival kits are made overseas and then sold to a distributor in the US with all the parts, and somebody will put it all together in the US and then claim it is made in the USA. That's most cases. Now, most survival kits, in my opinion, should never be bought. It's just a no-brainer, because the thing is you'll look at it and it'll say there's a saw, there's a knife, there's a flashlight, there's batteries, there's band-aids and all kinds of other stuff that's listed. They say, oh, it's a 150-piece survival kit. And then they have this little credit card that you can use as a screwdriver, blah, blah, blah. And, in my opinion, it is a waste of time. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of most people's time if they buy it and they never open the box or the bag. Most survival kits now come in a bag because they're trying to save money. And the bag is normally flimsy. So, in most cases, half the stuff that's in there is junk, and half the stuff is, well, unusable. Now, if I bought a survival kit from, let's say, Walmart or Dick's Sporting Goods or back in the day Kmart or Sears, and I walked into the store and I looked at the survival kit. Now, a lot of times these people would have the displays out and you would actually see what's inside of these survival kits. And a lot of people will look at it and they'll say, ha, and then walk away. That's pretty much what this is. The same stuff or the same junk that they sold in the department stores, which makes the online shopping for survival kits mostly unreliable. Unless you can be able to get some reviews and see exactly what's inside of them. Once you watch some online reviews before you buy them, then you can determine whether or not you could be able to use it. So I can guarantee you about 80% of the people don't know what a finger saw is or how it's used, and the fail rate on a finger saw actually is sitting at about 92 to 93% that you will not be able to saw through a branch. But you could saw through a branch. It's only going to take you about 30 minutes. And then you got to saw through the other part of the branch and then saw through the other part of the branch. By that time, if you're trying to survive in the cold, you're going to be frozen to death before you can start a fire. So, one of the big things that I would like to talk about with survival kits is, well, sometimes it's a little bit more inexpensive. Number one, you can make it as inexpensive as you can, or B, you could go as cheap as you want, or spending just a little bit more than what your allocated budget is for a survival kit, just by simply building it yourself. And don't tell me that, well, it's too expensive, it's going to take too much of my time, and I don't know how. It's very easy to build your own survival kit. And around the U.S., there's a big store called Harbor Freight. And you walk into Harbor Freight and you buy an ammo can. They have two different size ammo cans. They have a thin one and they got a thicker one. Now you can go in there and you buy a thin ammo can, and the first place that you can go and see is you're going to see flashlights. The first big thing that you need to buy is flashlights, and then the second thing that you need to get is batteries. Now they actually have some flashlights that are wind up, so you won't even need batteries. But I would recommend just going and getting, well, a flashlight. And then they have another one that we've used during power outages. That's a push top, or and it's a I would say about the width of a coffee, the bottom of a coffee cup. And man, it puts out some light. And the batteries in it last. And we used Harbor Freight batteries. That's the first thing you need is light. The second thing that you need is a small airtight container so you can be able to put matches in. Now, in a survival kit, they'll give you matches, and they'll say that they're storm-proof matches or waterproof matches, and they're not. Buy yourself a nice little airtight container. As a matter of fact, you'd probably would like to buy maybe 1, 2, or 3 nice, small, airtight containers, if you can find them. I don't know if Harbor Freight sells them. If not, go to Hobby Lobby, you'll find them. Now, 3 things that you want in an airtight container. Number 1 is, of course, your batteries for your airtight and watertight containers. Number 2, matches. And number 3, and possibly number 4, I would always like to have some salt and pepper. Of course, I want to be able to eat. The next thing that you want to have in there is a spool of fishing line. Fishing line is very useful for just about everything. And it's easy to tie, and it stays tight, and it's strong, it's durable. If I had a tarp and needed to fasten a tarp down, it's not going to go nowhere. Small paracord. That's another thing that I would buy, along with some fish hooks. This next item would probably not be able to fit inside of a survival kit, but a hammer, a hatchet, and some kind of a saw. But that's completely up to you. I've seen survival kits that had a coping saw in there. It ain't gonna work. So if you use hammer, nails, a hatchet, let's see, what else do I got here? A standard Phillips and a standard screwdriver and a Phillips screwdriver. And another good one that you would probably need to use would be an adjustable wrench, or what you call a crescent wrench. The only reason I'm saying that is most mechanics do not like adjustable wrenches or crescent wrenches because they have the ability to break at times. But in an emergency situation or a survival situation, when you're putting together some kind of an emergency kit, survival kit, a Phillips, not a Phillips, a crescent wrench or a adjustable wrench can save you a big headache. When probably all you need is that wrench to be able to get yourself going, get yourself moving, and keep yourself surviving. Plus, if you have a can of butane or you're using propane, then you can be able to tighten your gas line onto your hose and be able to use it that way. A can opener. That's the number one thing that's missing in 99% of all these survivor kits. A stinking can opener. A pocket knife and some fish hooks. That's pretty much all you'd really need in a survival kit. Or of course some band-aids, water purification tablets. But you can get it as extensive as you want. You can get as extensive as you want. You can go as expensive as you want. You can go as cheap as you want. But just make sure that you have the basics. And that's why I made this video, is because when I have looked at survival kits and I bought survival kits, my sons bought survival kits, and they're just a big ripoff. By the time we get through the survival kit and look at it and say, hey, let's see what's all functional, what all functions. But you know what? About half the stuff we throw it in the garbage. It was junk. We had lead fishing weights in there and half of them were broken. They were split in half. And then they had water purification tablets and all they were is a chlorine tablet. And then there was another one, there was a fluoride tablet. And we're like, wait a minute. It looks like they went into a warehouse factory, opened up a bag and just dumped in whatever they think they can be able to put the term survival on. So, here you have it. That's my take on survival kits. If you build your own, I think it'll be a much better choice than, well, buying the junk that they have online. So this is something that I want to start doing too, as I'm going to start talking about other kits that I've seen, kits that I've owned, first aid kits that I've seen, first aid kits that I've owned, camping kits, that sort of thing, and then eventually you'll start putting stuff like that together. But right now I'm at the bottom of the barrel, waiting until my audience builds up, but you know, just getting this out there, just documenting this so that I can be able to come back and I can say, hey, you know what? Let me revisit this video. So, if you like this, please leave a like, comment on the video. If you're new here, comment and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And tell your friends and family about me. And until next time, let's keep on rocking.